57. How does the chart provide additional support for a central idea of the excerpt? Let's go ahead and look at the chart. So the chart is a chart of possible management of non-native species based on extent of invasion over time. So vertical is area affected by non-natives, horizontal is time. So over time, non-native infection becomes, or affection becomes higher and higher. When it's early, you can try to prevent and eradicate it. But then there's a rapid increase at some point, and that's usually when the public becomes aware, it looks like. And within that, management equals difficult and costly, eradication unlikely or impossible. So once it kind of hits its growth, it's impossible to eradicate it. You'd have to get it at the early stages. I think that's part of the main idea here. Eradication no longer feasible, can only protect small areas based on, yep, okay. So once it starts its real inflection point toward growth, that is by the time the public's aware, you probably can't stop the non-native species. Okay, I think that's the idea. Let's see if an answer choice reflects that. By implying the public becomes aware of non-native species only after removal is impossible. Only after removal is impossible? That might be extreme. We'll keep that one on hold because it's generally in line with the idea of the chart. B, by showing that the complete removal of non-native species is usually not achievable after a certain period of time. Well, that is true. It shows after a certain period of time, a complete removal of non-native species is impossible. I think that's a better statement than A. C, it's true to the graph. By demonstrating why non-native species can be destructive if they are not removed from the... No, but demonstrating why, it says nothing about why in this graph. Why is not something that's part of that graph. D, by explaining how some conservation groups have approached the removal. No, how is not part of the graph. How the conservation groups approached it. They got in, made plans to remove species. They had protests. I mean, no, there's no sense of how in that chart. The only question is that reflects the idea is A or B, and it's not true that removal, that the public becomes aware only after removal is impossible. It is true by showing that the complete removal of non-native species is usually not achievable after a certain period of time. Let's go up and confirm that again. Management, eradication, unlikely or impossible. So only impossible is not correct, right? Only after removal is impossible. It never says impossible. Unlikely or impossible. So yeah, A is definitely incorrect. B is the right answer for 57.